What is going on, guys? Today we are going to get into our Week 15 predictions, and from here on out, I'm going to change the format of this a little bit. You'll see in just a second. But before we get into this video, let me just remind you, trying to get to 1,000 subs as soon as possible. We're at about 650 right now. Help me get there by the end of the year, maybe. I don't know. Share with your friends, family while you're at Christmas. Your grandma, she might like my videos. You don't know. Either way, let's get right into this video. Alright guys, so here we are. This is our playoff predictor here, the ESPN playoffs machine. I'm going to go through every week for the next 4 weeks. I'm going to do all 4, all 3, all 2, and then both, or the single week. And just like that way we can kind of see how the playoffs could shake out to my prediction. So I'm basically going to predict the rest of the season throughout the rest of the year. So, starting this one, week 15. Thursday night matchup right here. Raiders, Chargers. Justin Herbert's out now. I got to go with Raiders. That doesn't change anything on the AFC scope right now, as you can see. Bengals and Vikings. I think the Vikings could win this game. I think that's one, but at the same time, the Bengals have played very well. I am going to give it to the Vikings for now, though. Steelers, Colts. The Steelers are on a 2-game losing streak, and they lost to 2 of the worst teams in the entire NFL right now, and that is exactly why they're going to beat the Colts. That's just what the Steelers do. If you know anything about Steelers football, you lose to every bad team. You'll beat teams you definitely shouldn't beat. It's just how it works. Broncos, Lions. That's an interesting one for sure. I'm going to have to go with the Lions. They haven't been the best lately. The Broncos have played decent lately, but, the Lions, I think they are just the better team. I'm going to jump down here. Falcons win that game. Don't need to talk about that. The Browns will win that game, move to 9-5. Chiefs, Patriots, Chiefs, let's go. Then we've got the Niners as well. Not going to take any time on those. Jets, Dolphins. Jets could sneaky win this game. I am going to give it to the Dolphins, though. Washington and the LA Rams. That one's kind of tough, honestly, but I'll give it to Washington. Dallas and Buffalo. Buffalo is playing their best ball they have all year. Dallas is being they're really good right now. I'm going to give this one to Buffalo. They're up there. The Dallas Cowboys play a lot better at home, and they're going to Buffalo this week. That weather could get to those southern boys down there, so that could really affect some things, I think. Titans, Texans. This is a bad week for the Texans to lose C.J. Stroud. Titans win this one. I'm going to think the Jaguars are going to win this game and bump Baltimore out of the 1 seed. That's just a game that I think might get away from Baltimore here. Bucks and Packers. Packers win. Saints and Giants. Saints win. Eagles, Seahawks. Eagles finally get their footing again. Moving on to Week 16. So after this next week, this is how the playoffs should look in my predictions. Saints, Rams. Rams going to win again. They're going to get on a little streak to go into the playoffs this season. Steelers, Bengals at Pittsburgh. Steelers winning this one. Jake Browning's going to mess up that game for them. Bills will get an easy win on the road since Chargers, have lost their quarterback, like I said a minute ago. Texans, Browns. Assuming C.J. Stroud's back, I'm going to give that one to the Texans. I just think Stroud is better than Joe Flacco, and he'll probably start tailing off at that point. Washington and the Jets. That's going to be a very close one. I'll give it to the Jets, though. Maybe Rodgers coming back around this time, but I doubt it just because they're not going to make the playoffs. Titans, Seahawks. I'll give it to the Seattle Seahawks this time. Colts, Falcons. Taylor might be back for this game. That's kind of what about the timeline is, either the last week with Pittsburgh or this game this week. I'm going to say the home team wins it just because I don't know who to think right now. And you know what? I'm going to give that one to the Colts, actually. I am going to give it to the Colts. I just crossed it in my mind. Vikings, Lions. A big NFC North matchup. The Lions are the better team. And the Vikings have not played well lately, so I kind of have to give it to them, though the Lions have not been great themselves. Jaguars win here. What is the Cardinals' record right now? They've won 3 games. So after last week, they've won 3 and lost 11. I'm gonna give it to the Bears, though. They've just been playing a little bit better this recent time. Cowboys, Dolphins. That's a tough one. Dolphins don't beat anybody good. Neither do the Cowboys, though. I'm going to give that one to the Dolphins. I think they might be able to, knock the Cowboys off a little bit and really set up the stage for the Cowboys to have to go on the road and win some real playoff games. Broncos beat Patriots. Chiefs beat Raiders. Eagles beat Giants. Niners, Ravens. A Super Bowl rematch and a potential Super Bowl this season. Baltimore, Niners. I'm going to give it to the Niners, though. I just think they might have the better footing on that one. And Green Bay and the Panthers. Green Bay will win that one, getting themselves into the playoffs in this last part of this Week 16. Moving on to Week 17, here we go. We have Jets, Browns. I think the Jets could win this one and really make some waves in this AFC playoffs. As you saw, that changed a lot of things very quickly. Rams and Giants. That's a tough one. The Giants have played well with Tommy DeVito. I'm going to give it to the Rams, though. Cowboys-Lions. Cowboys finally get a win back on them. Still remain the 5th seed. Eagles get a shoe in there. Bucks-Saints. That's a big one for this division. I'm going to give it to the Saints. I think they might win that one, and that puts them in the playoff spot down here. Gives them a big jump there. Dolphins-Ravens. Ravens coming off a loss last week. Ties up their record again. They're in Baltimore. I'll give it to Baltimore. Buffalo beats the Patriots. San Fran beats the Commanders. Steelers, Seattle. That's a tough one. I really think it's evenly matched to a point. At the same time, this is for sure Kenny Pickett should be back. For sure. I think Steelers win that game. They lose 2 to the worst teams in the league, and then they go on a 3-win win streak. That's just how it happens in Pittsburgh. It's just always what it does. Bears and Falcons. I'm going to give that one to the Falcons. Make this NFC South pretty scary there. Bengals, Chiefs. Chiefs do win, but I think that game ends up being very close. I think that, even with Jake Browning playing, I think they play up just because it's the Chiefs and they have that rivalry brewing now. Raiders, Colts. That's a tough one. I'm going to give it to the Colts, though. No playoff change there. Jaguars move up to the 2 seed with a win over the Panthers. Chargers, Broncos. Broncos get a good one. Vikings win this one against Green Bay, and Texans get the second of the matchup against the Titans. Now, we go to our Week 18. This will settle a lot of scores in the playoff race. Seahawks get a win here. Broncos get a win here, moving them into the playoffs for now. Bills, Dolphins. I think the Bills sweep that matchup. The Bills claim the 4th seed due to this. Steelers, Ravens. We'll come back to that one. That's one of the best that's one of the best rivalries in all of sports. We'll come back to that one in a minute because that one's going to change a lot of things. Jets, Patriots. I'm going to take the Jets winning. Doesn't get them in the playoffs, though. Bucks win their game. Saints, Falcons for pretty much the game of the conference. I think the Saints win. I think the quarterback play from Derek Carr will rule the quarterback play from Desmond Ridder, and that's enough. Bengals get a win here. Doesn't change anything for them, but keeps their, if the Browns win, they don't make the playoffs yet either. They could change some things later. We'll say that in a second. Vikings at 9-7, Lions at 11-5. I'm going to take the Lions to win, move up to 12. Eagles beat the Giants. San Fran versus LA. Yeah, we'll go San Fran to win that one. LA gets themselves into the playoffs even though they lose. How does that work? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to who was there before. Packers, Bears. Packers win, steal a playoff spot themselves. Jaguars beat the Titans at home. Jaguars claim the 1 seed due to that. Cowboys get their win. Chiefs get their win. Chiefs retake the 1 seed. Texans, Colts. I'm going to go with the Colts to win that one weeks in the last week of the season. And then Steelers, Ravens. A big game. Steelers have won 3 straight. Ravens did lose one, I think it's a week or 2 ago. The Steelers always do this. They end seasons well. They play bad teams and lose to them. They beat all the good teams they shouldn't. And here's the thing. The Steelers have Lamar Jackson's number. The Steelers are the one team that Lamar cannot beat. He never does. I'm going to give the Steelers the win, and they claim the 3 seed, knocking Baltimore to the 5th seed. Getting a good matchup against Miami in Pittsburgh, a home playoff game at that. Kansas City lands the bye. Buffalo, Baltimore, a great game. This might be what our playoffs could be, but who knows? Week 15 could change many things. And, a Steelers loss to the Colts, a Eagles loss to the Seahawks, the Ravens and the Jags game. Many things can change. This is just my prediction from here on out. Either way, let me know what prediction you think is my best and my worst in the comments down below. I'll be looking forward to hitting 1,000 subs as soon as possible, so please help me get there. Thanks for watching. Peace.